Hi everyone, a very good morning to you and welcome to today's webinar, Build, Schedule, Relax, Simplified Financial Reporting. So in this webinar, we will take you through the process of adding a budget, building a scalable report, and simplifying how you how you communicate business performance insights to your key stakeholders. Such a pleasure to have you all joining us today. But before we get into it, let me first introduce myself. My name is Brian Chin. I'm the S&B Customer Engagement Specialist here at Fathom, and I listen to your problems and help you find solutions to it. If you have any existing issues with your reporting, forecasting, or consolidation process, feel free to note down my email here, and let's talk more. So we're just going to allow a few more folks to join in, and we'll kick off in another minute or two. So while we're waiting, folks who are in the call, feel free to have a look at these pointers on the slide. We want to make sure you get the most out of the session without any technical interference. I want to note that there will be a dedicated Q&A portion towards the end of our session today. But if you do have any questions prior, please do pop them in the Q&A area of Wistia. Send them through and we'll answer them live. In just a couple more minutes. I can see a question from Carrie very quickly. Yes, we will be sending a recording of the session 24 hours after this is done. All right, we're just going to go ahead and get started. So thanks again to everyone joining us today. And Fathom is a global organization, which is why for today's session, we'll have Rowan from the US and Tom from our very own APAC team taking us through the bulk of today's content. We'll now be hearing more from the two of them.
Welcome everyone to Build, Schedule, Relax, our webinar on simplifying financial reporting. I'm happy to be joined today by Tom Bilden, who is the head of our advisory and business channels, coming to us from our APAC team. And for those of you that I haven't met, my name is Rowan Eister. I head up partnerships and marketing for our North American team. So to start, we'll go through a bit of an agenda of what will be covered today. We'll provide a quick introduction and the common challenges faced along the way. From there, Tom will take us through the Fathom product showcase portion of the webinar. We'll cover an intro to Fathom, adding budget comparatives, and then we'll get into reporting. After that, we'll go through some next steps, and we will take your questions live during our live Q&A. I want to call out now, please keep your questions coming throughout the webinar as we cover different portions of the product or just different topics. Questions may come up, and please feel free to send them through. We'll do our best to address them live in the background as we go, and we'll also pull out questions to answer in the Q&A. I also want to note that everyone registered for this webinar will get a recording of the session. So if we go through something quickly, or if you want to review something, you'll be getting that recording within the next 24 hours or so. All right, so first, what is Fathom? Fathom is an all-in-one business performance reporting, analysis, and planning platform. We combine actionable financial insights, customizable reports, and business planning into one refreshingly easy-to-use business management solution. Basically, Fathom works by seamlessly integrating data from accounting platforms and transforming that financial data into insightful dashboards and reports. So it's easy to get started, stay connected, and get more from your financial data. And now financial performance reporting. So financial performance reporting provides stakeholders with accurate and reliable data and insights on a company's financial health. Reviewing financial performance reporting on a regular cadence, monthly or quarterly, is necessary and effective for debt management and budget allocation. And then furthermore, engaging regular financial performance reporting keeps stakeholders in the know, it increases understanding and transparency, and it keeps everyone aligned. What we'll be showing you today when we move into the Fathom product portion is a brief intro to Fathom. We'll show you how to set up budgets for comparatives within your reporting. We'll move into reporting, and there is a lot of functionality there. So we'll be kind of giving you our highlight reel that makes sense for today's webinar. Again, if you have questions or want to know more, let us know. We'll be going through creating a scalable report that you can use on that regular cadence, using our templates, creating customized reports, and then sharing those insights with your key stakeholders. So from here, I will pass over to Tom, and he'll take us into Fathom.
Cool. So here we are on the main dashboard of Fathom. You can see that we've got a range of businesses and organizations that have been brought into Fathom from their source accounting system. So here we got Xero, MYOB, Intuit QuickBooks Online, and you can also bring in data from any system via Excel. So we often find a lot of larger organizations with ERP systems might want to bring in their data, and as there's no direct integration, you can use Excel to do that. Also got a benchmark group here and a consolidated group. These are two powerful areas of Fathom we won't be covering today, but just so you know, that's available for use. Bringing data into Fathom, you just bring in at the top add using the add green button, click on company, and then you can bring in data via these data sources. And in the UK, there's also an integration with Sage. And then once you've done that, you've got access to three key areas of Fathom here next to your business entity. So we've got analysis and KPI tools, we've got budget and forecast tools, and then the reporting area that brings everything together in one place and allows you to create beautiful automated report. So today we're going to talk about how you can have insightful reports up and running quickly, so you can track how your business is performing and access things like budgets, key performance indicators, which allows you to make informed decisions for what needs to happen next in the business. So if you've got a budget already, maybe you've got a budget in Xero or in Excel, you can always just bring that directly into Fathom by clicking on the settings function or settings cogwheel and going to step 1. You can see your financials are here, and further down the page, you can bring in your budget. It's also worth calling out that you can also bring in accounts receivable and accounts payable data from Xero and QuickBooks Online. And you can also bring in more granular level data such as tracking categories, classes and locations from QuickBooks Online and jobs from MYOB as well. So that's the data part. It's also worth just calling out that there's a great key performance indicator section here that allows you to set financial key performance indicators and measure, monitor, and track non-financial KPIs as well. Fathom provides you with over 50 default KPIs, which you can select from, and you can edit and manage the positioning of these on your reports. And you can also create KPIs using the KPI button here. You can create non-financial KPIs, and you can also create formula KPIs, so something worth knowing. But what if you don't have a budget already set up? Well, you can set one up from scratch in Fathom. You just click on the budget or forecast option, and then when you go to the new page, you want to get started with a custom budget or forecast. And then a little tip, probably for getting started really quickly, is just to use your actuals from last year. This will have the ability to link to your previous period's numbers. So here we've selected last year and we've made a small increase on the number. And this is a broad brush approach to each part of the P&L, but selecting last year's actuals just gives you that starting point that you're actually going to recognize to get going. Once you've set up your main forecast through the custom setup function, you'll be able to just land in the main P&L area of your budget and forecast, which you can see here, and all your data set out by month. You've got the ability to edit your numbers in quite a granular way, so you can delve into each month's figures. You can edit things using the right-hand window in terms of the value rules that we provide to you to set your numbers into the future, and the timing profiles for when cash from your receipts and expenses and payments times down to the balance sheet. Once you've created your future 12 months for your budget, or your maybe 3, 4, 5 years for your forecast, you can go and review this, maybe having a look at your budget for the next 12 months here, or your forecast years into the future. And you can also review your numbers quarterly and of course monthly. So once you're happy with your budget, you'll want to go to your report section. And in Fathom, you have two options for creating a report. So you can either create a report from scratch, or you can use one of Fathom's predefined templates, or a template that you've actually created previously. So maybe we'll pick a quarterly performance report. Let's just set it to the last month. And you'll have an instant report up and running with a range of components already set up within it. And you can add additional components using this left-hand menu. So you can add different types of text commentary. You can add charts and graphs, which there's hundreds of charts and graphs templates to select from within Fathom that you can edit, and also financial tables and layouts from the left-hand menu. But here we've got some pre-populated information. We've got an executive summary set up in a certain text format. And then further down, we've got some of those KPI results that we talked about earlier that have been set up, different view types for these KPI results. We've got a KPI table. And then we're into charts and graphs analysis for revenue and additional analysis tools. Here we've got profitability and some profitability chart information. We've got the cash flow waterfall, some cash flow chart information, and then the growth analysis tool. And there are a range of analysis tools that you can bring into your Fathom reports. So now we've got a financial table. This is traditionally where information is kept and viewed, both by business owners and accountants and advisors advising them. And you can edit these tables. So you can either click on the edit green button at the top right of the component, or you can double click on it. And then you have a right-hand window to start editing and adding more components. So maybe for these financial statements, we want to just have the P&L, and we want to bring in a bit of information in terms of the budget this quarter, and maybe we want to bring in this quarter versus budget in dollar terms. We might also want to take out last quarter. So maybe we'll remove that column, and maybe we'll just reposition some of these to make a little bit more sense. And maybe we'll just allow report viewers to export to Excel here, just in case we need to manipulate some of the data a little bit later. And maybe we'll add in showing profit margins as well. Save the changes, and then we have our edited table. And maybe make a decision that you actually want two tables. You want a summary level table, maybe for board level review, but also maybe you want a more detailed review, and you want something a little bit more detailed for the business units, business unit managers, and maybe the finance team. So in the rows section, we could maybe we go into detailed view, and this expands to give more detail, and maybe we'll hide nil account balances and the dividends, and show the account codes as well for the accounts finance team. And now you have two tables, and Fathom allows you to edit, move, change things about, and we'll touch on those more in the next report we take a look at. So here we are in our new, slightly more detailed Fathom Aurora Soft report, and we might want to do some additional edits to this, or take a look at some of the items and components that we built. You can see we put in a beautiful background header to represent Australia, which is where this webinar is being presented from. But you can go in and edit the backgrounds and the logos. You can bring in the Aurora Soft logo that we had originally, and also adjust other areas of the presentation. You can also access print reports in Fathom, still utilized, however, less so than the online reporting, which is accessible via automated emails that the users or receivers of the reports will get direct into their inbox with a link which allows them, by clicking on, to hop straight into the online report version. One of the benefits of the online report versions is that you can also leave commentary within the online reports, and have some back and forth in terms of questions and answers to between whoever created the report and the users or viewers of the report. You can see here that we've got an introduction section, and there are some green numeric items sat within the text, and these represent KPIs, financial or non-financial, numbers from the P&L, the balance sheet, that you can bring directly into your text and then have those update automatically in future months or quarters, bringing in the live information as time progresses into the future. And so to access these components, you just use the @ symbol and type the KPI you want to bring up, and then select the information that you want to auto-populate into the future. And here we're basically saying that revenue is a little bit behind target this month, coming in at 1.48 million versus the budget of 1.571 million. And we've entered some action plan items in terms of next steps for the business owners, and that can be set up within this text, two columns of text left or right, just on the left-hand menu. Underneath this, we've got some what we call financial snippets. So these are key KPIs you just want to highlight. And again, you can edit these, and maybe we want to bring in a spark line and also have a bit of a text description of the metric itself. You can access these within the charts and graphs sections from any of the drop-down menus. You'll see this 1, 2, 3 icon, and this represents a financial snippet. So maybe we want to bring in a specific profitability metric, maybe it's EBIT, and we can do that here. Underneath the financial snippets, we've got drilled down into some performance across divisions in terms of more granular information on the revenues of this organization, business, and we've split the revenues using tracking categories from 0, and you can use the same feature through QuickBooks Online, which is through classes and locations, and you can see here that we've picked the divisions of by location. So here in Australia, we've got the divisions in Victoria, Queensland, Western Australia, and New South Wales, and you might want to bring in some maybe some future projections for the next 3 months, see how things are tracking, and you can do that again within the right-hand window. Underneath, we've got some drill down into details around the operating profit mix. Again, maybe you want to change how this is presented. Maybe you want to have a legend appear as well. You can, again, everything's contained within the right-hand window. And then beneath this, we've got variable costs of sales broken down in stacked bar charts by month, again, for the states. And again, this is all accessible within the right-hand window. Underneath, same thing for expenses. And then we're drilling down again into even more detail around areas of the business that are underperforming. So here we're looking into implementation, revenue, and services. We're highlighting some key information in the text and some action points as well. Maybe we want to bring in some more information in terms of the divisions. Maybe we want to have a comparison to last month as well. And you can see that the grey shaded box on the left behind the blue boxes appears, and also the details on the far left-hand menu. Again, all accessible from the left-hand menu. And this is a KPI table build function. This allows you to bring in specific KPIs and stack them in a financial table. And again, maybe we want to focus on cash on hand as a key metric, because we're going to be continuing the investments that we've made already to keep growing the business. It's great that we're tracking far ahead of our targets, so we've obviously got spare cash in the business to actually utilize. This is available within the tables and financials section, just in KPIs. And you can go and select one of those and start building a KPI table. Underneath that, we're taking a look into cash flow. So we're focusing on working capital, a couple of key areas. So customer invoicing and supplier invoicing. You can see here that we've set up our total balances of accounts receivable and accounts payable, indicated on the left-hand menu by the outstanding amounts that are obviously cascading and ballooning out. And also we've got the accounts receivable days and accounts payable days tracked on the right-hand axis. And so maybe there's something we want to do about this. We're going to need to actually get control of this over time. So we've gone in again into the left-hand menu, and we've picked out some accounts receivable charts and information to drill down further into that. And we might want to edit this to prioritize those older debts, and maybe the finance function is going to focus on that over the coming weeks. And you can see Momentum Enterprises is the key call out in terms of customers that have invoices outstanding. Finally, for this report, we've broken down our financials by division. Again, all accessible on the right-hand menu in the tables and financials section. And underneath that, we've gone into some rolling trends in terms of rolling revenues versus actual revenues, and then into a trends table again included on the right-hand menu under financial trends. Once you're happy with your report, we can go back and actually schedule this. So first of all, you'll want to save your report as a template, and it will move into the custom templates area, which is just on the right hand side, and that allows you to utilize the report that you built for example, if you've got other businesses within a group that you just want to use the same report for, you can copy that across. Or if you're advising businesses, you can build templates and then utilize templates across, say, specific industries or sectors. In the custom section, you'll go to the schedule reports area, and to automate the creation of reports into the future, whether that's monthly automation or quarterly creation of your reports, if you schedule your reports, they will auto appear on a specific day of your choosing, and you can then schedule that report once created to immediately notify specific individuals who might want to go and edit the report or update the report or view the report on a specific day of the month, and they'll receive an email into their inbox, and they'll have a link directly into the online report and can start looking at it instantly. And so all you want to do is pick whether it's the draft or published report you're scheduling, pick the frequency that you want to schedule it at and the date that you want to schedule it at, and who you want to notify. It could be specific users, viewers, editors, etc., and then create the schedule, and then that report will be scheduled into the future. So in summary, we looked at how we can bring budget information, performance information into our report, looked at KPIs, how we access those, create those in Fathom and bring those into our report in the settings area. And then we looked at using, spinning up a really quick report using the predefined templates in Fathom, and then looked at a report where we've got a little bit more detail that might allow us to make some more insightful decisions around the business and also take some actions to improve the performance of the business. And the example we touched on was cash flow.
All right. Thanks, Tom. So I know at this point, some of you may need to hop off already. So two quick things. One, you can sign up for a free trial via this link at the top and enjoy 14 days of Fathom for free. Two, if you want a personalized demonstration, here's my email over here. We can book a time and I'll give you a guided tour. So next up to the Q&A. I can see you guys have been blasting away questions here while Tom and Rowan have been presenting. We'll just pick a few to answer, and if we can't get to all of them, we'll make sure to follow up. So I think saw a question from Melanie. So is there a way to do a full year month-on-month view rather than just the last 4 months? Yes, you can. Yeah, I believe Tom has showed that in the demo as well. You can generate like a very nice trend chart up to 12 months within Fathom. And another one from Joe, is there a way to run reports, specifically a consolidated trial balance for a portion of a calendar year rather than a month or quarter? So for example, 1st Jan to 30th June. So that's a great question and a tricky one at the same time. So currently you can set periods within Fathom, but really based on the financial year. So for example, if your FY is set from 1st Jan to December, then you can run that report in June. Otherwise, yeah, we have submitted that for feature request, and that update is coming within the next, I'll say, to be conservative, within the next 6 months. Hope that answers your question, Joe. And let me have a look. So another one from Brianna. For custom reports, is there a way we can start with something like the P&L and remove or add accounts that way? Yeah, great question. You can. So, oh, sorry. Yeah. So you're a current trialist and you've been trying to I got yeah, gotcha. So yeah, good question. So unfortunately, from if you want to build your very first one from scratch, that will have to be the way. But once you have that report, if you want to build something else at a later stage, you can save that existing report as a custom template. So that will be a P&L that you've built from initial days, and you can keep reusing that to build other types of financials or P&Ls or balance sheet from there. So that will save you time in the long run. Another one from Josh. It's Fathom, good for producing sales analysis reports for revenue performance by customer and customer segment. Yeah, great question, Josh. Actually had a chat with a customer yesterday, wanting the exact same thing. So anything that's not in your financial data, chart of accounts, sales by customer, um, sales by products, for example, you all have to bring them in through the external inputs of either Google Sheets or Excel. But once you bring them in, you can generate pretty much the same or very similar kind of outlook when it comes to have them sit in the pie chart, or you can put them within a historical chart with each of those pieces, comparing them month on month, either customer or product. So it is possible, but I would say you have to try it out yourself. Like, I don't want to say Fathom is the best for everything, and for this specific case, it depends on how you like it, the process and how it looks at the end. Yeah, so I guess that would answer your question to some degree. And another one from Peter. Oh, appreciate the questions coming in. Very can show that you guys are engaging. So can you create an accounts receivable table from an Excel spreadsheet? Look, mate, unfortunately not. But look, I don't actually, I'm not too sure if you can export it to Excel and then build it from there. So look, we can get back to you on that. But Ryan, if you know the answer to this, feel free to just drop the reply to Peter. And another one from Georgia. So is there a way to run divisional reports down to only the GP level? Some managers should not be seeing data to the net profit level. I know this can be created using KPI chart, but this doesn't seem to be an option. So I'm pretty sure that there's an option, even in the divisional reports, to sort of custom make the reports, so you can have a summary or summarized version of the financials and not show the net profit. So I'm confident that it's possible. The filter option is there, even for the KPI charts to show financials by divisions. So yeah, if you have any doubts, shoot me an email or reach out to the support team right here, and yeah, we can figure it out. Correct. Yes, Josh, I agree with you. Xero is not great at reporting product sales by products or by customer. So yeah, again, I encourage you to start a trial and try it out. So I think just the last one before we end the webinar. So from Brianna, do you have webinars for existing clients that have used the product that is more in depth, covering different topics? Yeah, great question, Brianna. We do. We used to have it, but it's been we've been having low turn up, so we've paused that for at the moment. But yeah, this would encourage us to start the weekly webinars, potentially again to have some sessions like to answer more in-depth questions and yeah, just talk about whether or not what features you guys want to have in the future. But okay, very last one. I'll answer this, Melanie. A quick note on AR. My aging doesn't agree to the AR balance. Not sure if feature is doing better. So Melanie, I would suggest if the data doesn't agree, you can first run a manual update in that setting, step number 1. And if the data still doesn't agree, once the update runs, reach out to our support team for technical assistance. Yeah, they will be able to run some backend tests to see what's going on. But yeah, I will just wrap it up here. Again, apologies if we didn't get to all of your questions. We'll make sure to follow up. Cool. So thank you all for joining us today and for your engagement and great questions throughout the webinar. I also want to thank Tom and Rowan for walking us through the intricacies of creating beautiful and professional reports in Fathom. If you are intrigued and would like to find out more, you have my email address. I'll just go back one slide. Or you have Ryan's if you took it down in the chat earlier. And just some admin before we go. Within the next 24 hours or so, we will be sending out a recording. And thank you all again and have a great day.